Hello, and welcome to the MOR Cast, the intersectionality of motherhood and entrepreneurship. I am your host, Shon-tay. This episode of the MOR Cast is entitled Look In. As parents, we often underscore the most traditional activities and career models. Most kids are enrolled in sports, dance, or take up an instrument at an early age and are encouraged to do their best as well as their best in school to identify a career choice. But I have a question. Is there a way for parents to know their kids' giftings and or purpose? Or should kids be continually thrust into multiple activities as a try it and see what takes model? Should parents be able to look into their child's life and identify those areas that are sometimes a little obscure, but the kid is passionate about it? Let's get into Look In. Let me start by saying there is absolutely nothing wrong with enrolling kids in sports, dance, or having them take up an instrument. They need these activities. But I am concerned about the areas and passions that exist, but are not always obvious, the ones that are overlooked. I know most girls like playing with dolls and most boys love cars and balls. But are these kids also creatives? Is your child the one who really likes to make money, always strategizing for new ways to do it? Do they negotiate for allowances? Do they prefer TV shows that indicate creativity or entrepreneurship? If so, you may be raising a tiny entrepreneur. The other activities are important for physical health, coordination, social skills, and the like. But you must look in to see if your child also needs to hone their entrepreneurial skills. See, I was that kid. But it was unidentified. It was as if they knew it, but they didn't know it. As a child, I was a kid who was flipping all around the house and attempting to do everything the boys did. I begged my mom to take dance and gymnastics, and I really wanted to do those things. But my greatest passion was making money. Although I was flipping and all around the house and dancing a lot and being adventurous, I was also making money, and I was serious about it too. I was a child who always had money and was often not satisfied with the amount I had. But I was always looking for ways to make more. I wanted to get paid. I would invent ways to make money and then check with my parents to see if they agreed. Although I was making money and saving money, they were noting how much I flipped around the house and the yard and how many times I sustained injuries following the boys. I'm not sure why flipping and being adventurous were so pronounced, but the thirst to make money was not. Because when I look back, it was very clear that I was trying to make money as well as the other things. If I didn't have money, there was a problem. I was more serious about my money than other things. I had a purse that stayed full of money. Soon, some of my siblings began to make loans, or I would barter for services with them going to the corner store because I couldn't go alone. Additionally, I was often called upon to settle my aunt's checking account. Allowance, no matter how little it was meant to be saved to me. I spent less and I saved more. I haggled for the possibility of more money. I became the household informant. If you wanted the information, I had it and would provide it at the right price. Not my finest moment, but it worked. During my last year of high school, I was required to fundraise for a pageant. So I hatched a plan to sell candy at school. It worked well because the vending machines only offered the standard chocolate bars. I sold the candy we really liked, but was only offered at the corner store. I share this to remind you to look in and to be careful not to overlook. You possibly have little entrepreneurs in your home. If so, begin to engage them about their ideas. Look for books and programs on their level to teach them about creativity, finances, and entrepreneurship. If they are not available, create your own. Encourage their abilities and giftings. Just don't leave it untapped, or they will end up pursuing a whole nother profession while aborting the gifting and the passion for entrepreneurship. Look in, pay attention. Sometimes the gifting or the ability is not as overt as we might think, or we may overlook it because other interests are there as well. And sometimes they're a little more pronounced. As I stated before, I was the child who was flipping all around the house, attempting to do all the things the boys did, but inside me was an entrepreneur screaming to get out. I went away to school, and in my confusion, I majored in something that was far away from business or entrepreneurship. But here I am, right back where I started, because inside me, the entrepreneur was there all the time.
Need some encouragement? Tune in to Test and Testimonies Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Instagram. Test and Testimonies will have you on the edge of your seat as you witness women sharing their trials and their triumphs. Test and Testimonies Friday nights on Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Talk Like God. You won't be disappointed, but you will definitely be encouraged.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the MOR Cast on Look In. Remember, look in to help your child recognize their giftings and purpose. Identify all that you see. It will require you to take inventory of their passions and their habits and know which ones are fleeting and which ones are innate. Whatever it is, I assure you they are always at it. Wherever they are, they're doing it. It's effortless for them. They don't have to work hard because it's always there. Once you identify it, make a note. Begin to pray to God about what it is they're doing and help them to hone it. Training up a child is more than sending them to Sunday school or children's church. You are your child's first teacher. So teach them the Word of God and how it affects their gifts and how they can hone their gifts. This does not happen in school. Look in. Find out where they are most gifted and the assignment that rests on their life. If you enjoyed this episode of the MOR Cast, please share it with someone else. Chat with me here or meet me on Twitter at the MOR Cast. And of course, all new supporters are welcome. Until next time.